and welcome to another episode of No Sleep. I'm your co-host, Jason Vance.
And I'm your other co-host, Regent St. Clair, and we are the show that's dedicated to cauterizing your sores. What? No. We are the show that's dedicated to bringing you the greatest movies you probably never heard of.
Or if you're a real movie collector,
freak,
like we are,
movie freaks,
then we'll probably be showing you clips from movies you already know and love, but you haven't seen them for a long time.
And the theme of today's show, of course, is adult animation, which doesn't mean animated porn per se.
Well, maybe
a little bit animated porn. Paquito. But actually, it's just films that are made for a more adult mentality and a more sophisticated audience than, say, Pokemon.
And my first choice for today is a collection of short films from the Brothers Quay. This is a collection of 10 shorts that they did, ranging in years from 83 to 94 and in length from 1 minute to 21 minutes. Now these brothers have, this is actually also stop motion animation, not cartoon drawing, but stop motion. These guys have a vision all their own. These are a pair of identical twin brothers that were born in Pennsylvania.
Or Pennsylvania.
I was thinking Transylvania. But now they live in seclusion. They're very publicity shy in probably a big castle in London or something. But if you've ever seen their visual style before, you'll recognize it immediately. If you haven't, it will certainly stick in your mind. It's twisted. If you can think of maybe the most bizarre Van Gogh painting come to life, crossed with maybe a little H.R. Giger, the guy who designs the alien kind of stuff, you're sort of on the right track. It's got a lot of weird, bizarre, like porcelain baby dolls and inanimate objects, combs, screws.
Thimbles. Not
the kind of thing you want to watch when you're sleepy or tired.
Yeah.
But it's so unique and so original, there's no way we could do this show without including the Brothers Quay.
Absolutely.
So check out this little clip. This is probably their best known short, The Streets of Crockodiles.
Let's check it out, Brothers Quay.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Obviously, instantly recognizable style. You've probably seen this kind of animation done in 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, and several other bands that have kind of darker, edgier music. This is exactly why, as many things we're going to talk about on the show today, this is why animation exists. This is such nightmarish stuff. How could you ever do anything like this without it being animated like this?
It's not possible.
But again, you're going to find yourself twisting your brain trying to figure out what is going on.
Because you know what, really, nothing. It's like we have tried to figure out plot lines for these. I don't think there really is any plot or any story. Well, it's strictly like a visual. It's so hard to describe this to people.
Maybe there is a thread of a plot or a story to it.
In some of them,
maybe.
Definitely.
But it's a purely visual
or was it just me?
Experience. Well, who knows? Woohoo! We'll go on to my first film of today, and this is kind of a departure for me. I tend to be the kind of sentimental guy on the show. But my first film today is called Wandering Kid, a.k.a. UROTSUKIDOJI, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, Legend of the Overfiend. The second part of that parenthetical is definitely what this movie is all about. Apparently, this is actually animated like a cartoon, but totally the end of the spectrum. Probably the most hardcore example of Japanese anime you will ever see. And this is not a new movie.
No, not at all.
But it's about these wandering kids who seem to be sort of a hybrid of demon and human living on our plane of existence, and they're supposedly our protectors. And I use that term loosely. Take a peek at this, just a little slice of what kind of fun these guys like to have, you know, when they're out of a...
Oh, this will wake you up.
When they're out of the sight of the keepers.
If you say if one demon penis is good?
If one demon penis is good, 100 is better. So, Wandering Kids, check it out.
3000年ぶりの女が実にうまい。
こりゃ大変だ。大将に知らせなきゃ。大将見ました。超人の正体は南雲に間違いありません。
なんやて勇者わいが確かめたる。
私はオイラはここで。
All right, now you know this last clip we showed you from the Brothers Quay movie, that's not the kind of thing you really want to put on at a party. You kind of want to watch that when you're at 3 Mind. However, Wandering Kids is the perfect party tape.
The party tape.
Because I don't care what's going on at the party, everybody be drawn to the TV. And you know, this is just seconds of this movie. I mean, this is hours long. And the wandering kids that fight these like sexual predator demons have like amazing, wild, weird, wacky superpowers too. The copy that Regent and I have had for years is completely in Japanese, but hey, who needs to hear the language when you got these kind of visuals?
No problem.
I mean, it's one thing after another with this.
Did you guys just watch that clip out there in TV land? Did you really need to know what they were saying? Probably not.
No, you can pick your jaw up off the ground. This is a perfect kind of movie also to shock your friends with. You know, nothing's better than inviting a few friends over, having them sit down and saying, hey, check this out, and putting on this tape. You know, and it is available now in a dubbed English version.
Right.
But I've never actually seen that because not necessary, you know. We kind of feel that the theme of this is that it's something about the orgasm.
Yeah, that's the moment at which the demons from hell are able to possess our bodies and make us into monsters.
Or something. But lots of great monsters, too. My next pick is probably one of the most powerful movies I've ever seen. It's called The Plague Dogs. We mentioned it briefly on our most disturbing episode. And it's about 2 dogs that are held captive at this experimental laboratory where they're doing all these heinous things. It's almost an analogy to a concentration camp.
Yeah.
I mean, lobotomies, drowning these animals. It's actually very heartbreaking, but they manage to escape from this. They're on the loose, and the laboratory puts out the notice that these 2 dogs are carrying the plague so that nobody will help them, they'll be shot, and what's going on at the laboratory won't be exposed. This was written by Richard Adams, who also wrote Watership Down, which is an amazing animated feature too. So let's take just a quick look at The Plague Dogs, and you'll get a little taste of what these dogs are going through just in the beginning. This is when they're escaping from the laboratory.
Plague Dogs.
Ralph, we can't stay here. The Whitecoats will find us. We've got to get out.
There isn't any out.
Yes, there is. You can smell it out there. We can be free.
Well, there you go. And again, I must say, besides this being one of my favorite movies of all time, a perfect example of what animation is best used for. You couldn't tell this story with an you couldn't do this like Babe, Pig in the City. It needs to be an animated, cartoonish, you know, kind of thing. It's a kind of a realistic style that they draw in. But this is one of the most powerful and moving films I've ever seen in my life, and it's this cartoon.
It just would not have the intensity with the Babe kind of animatronics going on.
It would seem funny. It would seem silly.
I mean, you will never, after seeing this movie, you will never ever look at a beautiful sunset on the ocean again the same ever. This movie will constantly be in your mind once you see it.
It's very sweet, it's very serious, and the box says, for the whole family. You know, I don't think so. I don't think this is for the whole family.
Well, you know, in the later copies of the video, they take that recommended for all ages off, which I thought was kind of interesting, because any kid that sees this, you better be ready to explain about suicide, death, and torture.
And leave your kids traumatized for the next 5 years.
Yes.
So I guess it's my turn for my next film, and my next film is very unusual, a big departure from what we just saw. My next film was called The Secret Adventures of Tom Thumb. Actually has quite a bit in common stylistically with the Brothers Quay. They utilize this very bizarre mixture of stop motion sort of animation with the live human actors and stop motion claymation with the creatures and Tom Thumb himself. And this is sort of like a new spin on the classic tale of Tom Thumb. But
I guess.
it kind of veers off into this really dark world. We'll give you a little taste of the world this takes place in with this clip where Tom Thumb's father, a normal human being, is out looking for little tiny stuff for his son in this greasy alley. So take a peek from The Secret Adventures of Tom Thumb.
Now, as you can see, I mean, it has that same nightmarish look. You know, some of this film actually reminds me of the Peter Gabriel video Sledgehammer with the jerky kind of animation going on. And, you know, the Tom Thumb character also comes from a laboratory of some kind where there's all these freakish creatures. However, unlike Brothers Quay, I'm kind of jumping around topics here, but unlike Brothers Quay, this does have sort of a linear story, sort of, enough that it keeps your interest throughout the length of the movie. Sometimes with Brother Quay, it can get a little bit, your eyes start to wander.
Well, that's why they probably have like bunches of shorts.
Right.
Most of their stuff is shorts. This is a full-length film.
This is a full-length film with a full-length real story and a conclusion and everything. And just, it's such a unique look and a unique vision. There are so few films that come out that stand on their own in any way, and this is certainly one of them. Going into a movie called The Secret Adventures of Tom Thumb and getting this with like freaky insects, I don't even know what that was in the dumpster. Is that a cat, a dog? I don't know. It looks like a Muppet that got like beat to hell one day, you know?
And pissed on and beat up.
So definitely check that out. It's a rare find, and it just recently came out on video, or at least accessibly.
Right.
My next pick, and you know what? Gosh, we're at my #1 pick already.
There you go.
How time flies when you're having fun. Is a film by the amazing Ralph Bakshi.
Absolutely.
Who animated, he has an animation style all his own. He's probably most notorious for Fritz the Cat. And he did this following his Lord of the Rings brilliant adaptation. It's called Wizards. And if you are at all interested in the fantasy genre of elves and magic, you've got to check this out. But the difference with this, the interesting story setup in Wizards, in this world that takes place, is it's basically a battle between two brothers, one who's into magic and science and one who's into technology. Good versus evil. As you'll see in the scene here, Ralph Bakshi incorporated a lot of Nazi propaganda film, and the style is a cross with live action background. It's very violent, lots of sex. Let's take a look at Wizards. You'll love it.
Nazi propaganda. And of course, Bakshi's style, instantly recognizable with the way that he likes to paint and draw over actual filmed footage. Of course,
That's what I meant to say.
He kind of left that Nazi stuff, the Nazi propaganda stuff, on its own. It's very powerful, obviously very powerful against these elves and fairies and stuff they're fighting up against.
Who have no idea like what this machinery is.
And the story takes place in kind of a post-apocalyptic world. and what has surfaced after all this time in the apocalypse is the forces of magic against the forces of technology, which Black Wolf, I believe is his name, resurrects to use against everybody. Now the irony, and I won't give it away, but the irony is how the person who wins does win at the end of this movie.
Don't give it away.
I won't say it.
You'll be evil.
I won't say it.
But you know, also his style, the actual animation style seems very simplistic, but the movements are very fluid and very lifelike. And you know, the emotions that he gets across, look at this elf, he's like terrified out of his mind, you know, sitting there trembling.
It works. It totally works.
Reminds me of that girl in the movie Naked.
Oh yeah.
But that's a whole other show.
We love Naked. In any case, and for my top pick of the day, again, I'm going to have to go with a Ralph Bakshi film. We love Ralph Bakshi. What can I tell you?
We love you, Ralph.
And again, this is not only one of my favorite animated films, this is one of my favorite films of all time. It's called American Pop. And although not as successful, I think, as Wizards, and certainly not as successful as Fritz the Cat, this is by far, in my opinion, just about the best thing that Bakshi has ever done. We'll show you a little clip here. The basic setup is it follows the lives and the efforts of, I think, 5 or 6 generations of musicians, father to son down the line, beginning with the family who's fleeing Russia and winds up with this guy, with this kid growing up a punk in the big city. So check out this little slice of Ralph Bakshi's American Pop.
Now, as you can see there, hell apparently is really for children. But, you know, that is just such a little tiny little morsel of this movie. It's really dramatic, a big, epic, dramatic piece that, in case you missed it, it is generations of families where the gene, the musician gene has been down. And each one of, each person that it focuses on in the family is striving to be a musician.
Or to succeed at being a musician.
To succeed at being a musician. And each one, no, if not giving anything away, fails. Like it almost has it right there. But again, you can see with Bakshi's style, that simplistic but yet flowing and like moving. And also this has one hell of a rockin' soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
You know, a good double feature with heavy metal is that 80s like metal soundtrack thing.
Excellent.
But definitely check out any of Ralph Bakshi's work. He's just brilliant. He's amazing. Someday we'll probably have a whole episode just
on
as
Bakshi's
a tribute
films.
to him because we're not worthy. And you know, a lot of you people may have received postcards from Regent and I lately, postmarked from hell, because that's where we were recently.
We attended a wedding before we went to hell, but it was the disembarkation point.
Yes, we went all over the Caribbean and to a little town called Hell, and just in case you don't believe us, like we're liars or something, we brought you a little footage back from Hell, and also some footage of just some people talking about what their favorite movies are, because that's what our whole point is. And you know, we're going to be doing a lot of kind of man on the street type interviews, so keep an eye out for either Regent and I asking you what your favorite movie is, and we're going to show it on the show, just like we're going to show you this footage. So
let's see, can we roll that the clip of some pics from Hell? Roll that clip now.
Hey. They have hell sauce.
Hell.
And welcome to Hell, and how the hell are you doing today?
Fantastic. And we're from LA, and we do a TV show called No Sleep.
Yeah.
And we like to ask people what their favorite movie is. Do you have a favorite movie?
Not really. My favorite movie is anything that I'm starring in.
Well, then this must be your favorite movie.
Yeah.
This is going to be your favorite movie then.
And where the hell in LA are you from?
Near Hollywood.
Yeah.
I live actually in Santa Monica at the beach. He lives in Hollywood.
A lot of people think LA is hell.
Well, that's the thing.
But is there any movie that you can think of that you might like recently, or even an old
Even
movie?
when you were a kid. Was
Even
a
when
movie
you were
like when you were a
a
kid?
little devil.
When you were a little devil, yeah.
Because we're going to put this on our show, like a little clip of the devil and his
Because I think people in Los Angeles would like to know what people in hell like.
Yeah. Well, people in hell like to watch anything that is good, I guess.
Did you see any of the Academy Award nominated films?
No, I haven't.
No, not even Sixth Sense. That's
No.
kind of hellish.
Yeah, I think that was the hell of a movie. I saw that one.
Okay.
Well, you have a hell of a day now.
Well, thank you very much.
Do you have a favorite?
Who's this? Gotta be Belgium, and that probably was made before you all were born.
Wait, what's
Which
the
one
title
was
again?
it?
I think
If
this
it's
is Tuesday,
Tuesday.
this must be Belgium.
Yeah.
I know this movie, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was real good.
There we
A
go.
bus tour over Europe, and
Yeah.
it was a long time ago.
This is another favorite from someone who lives in hell. So we can show the people in Los Angeles. So I think I'm going to,
Movie that you like an old one, even from when you were a little girl, or a recent one?
What, I mean, the international movie?
Sure.
any movie.
Any movie.
My favorite movie was Ghost.
Ghost.
Yeah,
Do you like-
Demi Moore. Yeah,
Do you like romantic movies?
yeah, I love.
Why did you like Ghost? don't cover. No, don't cover.
You know what? I'm on camera shy.
No, it's okay.
No, I'm conscious already.
Why did you like Ghost though?
Why?
Because it was romantic?
Because it's very, yeah, it's very
I think
romantic.
it was sad though.
The, kind of a tragic.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Because they couldn't be together. Sad.
But I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it's really very, very deep. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was exciting.
You know, you keep your camera.
This is what we're gonna put on our show.
You're going to be on TV now, see?
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Stop it.
that's right.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite movies?
What's one of my favorite movies? Lonesome Dove.
Lonesome Dove. You like westerns?
I like westerns.
Did you watch the movie after you read the book?
No, I saw the movie before I read the book.
And any particular reason why you like that?
Just a bunch of raunchy old devils that were doing their thing.
Right. So tell me, what is
What
your
is
favorite
your
movie?
favorite film? He's all Gamera.
So there you go.
There you go. And of course, as if you couldn't hear that, the Turtles' favorite movie was Gamera, which of course is a film
As well
about,
it should be.
about a big turtle. Really quickly, as well as these folks and the turtle, we'd like to also continue reading and letting you guys know what other fans of the show like. We got a postcard from Santa Monica. Love the AI show, which I believe was that the last one we did?
Yes, it was.
Artificial intelligence made me fondly remember my favorite picks, Robbie the Robot in Forbidden Planet, which is, I guess, now being remade.
Great.
And
Great.
Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Also from my friend Robbie Rist out in the valley.
What's up, Robbie?
Robbie's favorite films are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is amazing,
Yeah.
as well as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, one of the high water marks of Western culture. Okay?
Have to that.
And Alicia, her favorite film is Baby Doll.
As well, Alicia's favorite film probably would be Baby Doll.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That's all the time we have for tonight's show, but a few other great adult animated films that I'd like to recommend, we just didn't have more time to talk about them or show you clips, are Tetsuo, the Iron Man, which is a completely off-the-wall, bizarre Japanese live-action / stop-motion animation about a man turning into metal with all sorts of debaucherous, weird, wild sex and violence. Also, heavy metal that I mentioned briefly, which is like the forefather of all this kind of
most of
adult
this
animated,
rock and roll
fantastical
stuff,
stuff, rock
yeah.
and roll stuff.
Yep.
Watership Down, which I mentioned earlier, written
By
by
the same
Richard Adams,
folks
Plague Dog,
who
about
did Plague
a
Dogs.
group of rabbits. Not as heavy as the Plague Dog, but definitely a gripping drama. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. I
the
mean,
best
this is
musical in the last, what, 20 years?
one of my favorite films last year, period. This movie pushes the bounds of offensiveness.
Totally.
And also the much overlooked Iron
Iron
Giant.
Giant.
And although this could appeal to children also, the Iron Giant, I think that adults would get a lot out of it. It especially captures the period of that time so well, the
Right,
50s.
and I think that's maybe why it didn't make more money at the box office, because it really isn't just a kid movie.
No.
You know, in many ways, it's to be appreciated by adults. And some more gems in the genre that I would like to recommend that we didn't have time to show you clips of today. I'd like to mention Fantastic Planet, which originally was in theaters with 2001: A Space Odyssey, a very strange film, and also The Secret of NIMH. NIMH, being the National Institute of Mental Health, makes a good double bill with The Plague Dogs.
Yeah.
Twilight of the Cockroaches, Fritz the Cat, and Robot Carnival. And there you go.
And there we go. And you know, if you want any further information on any of the films we've talked about on tonight's episode or on any previous episode of No Sleep, give us a call right now. Pick up the phone, 310-712-1973.
Or, as usual, reach out and touch us on the web at www.nosleeptv.com.
And you know, we still don't have a winner for our Guess the Clips contest. So if you can guess correctly in order the clips on the opening sequence of our show, you're going to win a beautiful No Sleep t-shirt. So give us a call, send us an email, send us a postcard, and let us know.
Do it! Do it now!
And thanks for stopping by.
Thanks a lot.
Debbie, we'll see you here next time.
Bye-bye.
Right here on No Sleep. Don't miss
Woo!
it. More great episodes.